Type Policy 2000 prohibited GMC with technology copyright infringement policy statement and unauthorized distribution copyrighted material included with unauthorized peer-to-peer file sharing is prohibited. Copyright infringement, the defined copyright infringement act is without permission, legal authority, one or more with the exclusive of the rights with granted with the copyright under with Section 106 of the Copyright Act, Title 17 United States Code. Copyright owner exclusive of the rights with the include right to reproduce the distribute the copyrighted work, file sharing content for the downloading, uploading substantial part of the copyrighted work for the authority counts with the infringement, peer-to-peer file share man's facility with a transfer of the file with one hard drive to another. Use of peer-to-peer software places you with the jeopardy violating copyright law. Warning: individual violators may be subject to institutional penalties. Civil or criminal liabilities may be potentially held with accountable of the fines levied against the institution. Institutional penalties may include with the disciplinary action, include the termination for the employee with expulsion from the college from college for students. Part 2011 approval of the GMC employee with the conduct of the property campus for the policy statement of the Georgia military policy with the GMC employee with the GMC facilities of the athletic field with the gyms in the gymnasium space with the classroom with the for the profit for the sport campus off the football softball soccer camps collectively referred to sport camps condition with approval of the following conditions must be met before the permission conducted with the profit of the campus of the grand primary the commencement for the marketing with the sports camp with the GMC and with the employee with the primary responsible for the sports camp shall obtain with approval of the president Georgia military college with the sole of the approval of the authority with the request for the conduct sports camp with the GMC facility. GMC employee with the primary responsible for the sports games must be sent to the president, Georgia military college, the director of the junior college athletics, signed with the date with the application was requesting approval of the conduct with the sports game. The application may be obtained with the application director of the junior college athletics. Application must demonstrate with the application sport game will still with a potential benefit of the GMC. With the application must agree with the GMC policy to proceed with especially safe with the procedure. Must demonstrate with the participant properly and ensure with neither the less GMC employee that responsible for conducting sport camp with any other than the person associated with the sports camp transport participants GMC vehicle with the approved the application GMC employee with a responsible sports camp may supply must pay GMC College $500 down and refundable deposit with the other fee with the decide by the President of North Secure. President Georgia Military College signed modification waiver with the deposit on the fees. Approved sport camps may not be advertised with GMC spent with the marketing materials should be included with the promptly local. It is a statement that with the sports camp is not being conducted by sponsored GMC. GMC employees primarily responsible for the must provide with proof of the general liability insurance of the policy covered with the event with the GMC covered the limited as allowed with the tort claim OCGA 502120 its end sequence. And the GMC employee with the primary responsible for the sports game shall be assigned with a waiver of the liability identification. GMC employees who work performed on the sport game shall sign with a waiver releasing GMC when the state with the director from any liability incurred with the result of the participation in sport camps including not limited to appropriate work compensation benefit accrual compensation. May 17, 2020. Rob Manchester, JC Athletic Director. Collection student accounts receivable policy statement of the Georgia Military College Resource Management Office with the established internal policy to proceed with the appropriate cost-effective management collection student account receivable general with the collection of the student with the account with the receivable benefits once receivable established for the resource of the management office will develop in public and proceed with the time of the collection of the student with the account with the receivable proceed with the communicate with the minimum of the vice president campus director extension center directors. Resworn management officer will place a hold on the student record with the preventing the student for the breach, restraining the student with the delinquent outstanding balance for the out of the GMC with a hold lifted once for the obligation is paid. Event with the delinquent account with the may be written off with the bad debt with expense with the hold on remain with the student with the record with the student with the obligation paid in full. Student shall pay with any of the past debt with the obligation incurred with the prior with the academic term with the permanent with the registry with the future terms in select case for the account with the EDs may lift up to have barring registration under certain circumstances, for example, the military tuition assistance billed to the government but not yet paid, and no diploma the transaction will be issued with any student with unpaid delinquent debt with the obligation owed to the GMC. Comes classified by the default when all GMC collection efforts fail but due to the payment of accounts may be written with the GMC books subsequently submitted outside agents for further collection. All efforts May 17, 2022. Chip Kirby, Chief Financial Officer. Policy 2013 travel expensive. For the purpose of the policy to provide guidelines for the payment of travel expense sufficient with the cost of the Chief Financial Officer the point of the contact with the question clarification. General GMC reimburse for the travel, the reasonable and necessary for the expense of the incur with the connection with the improve of the travel, the necessary for the expense of the only one of the clear business for the purpose of the exist for the support of the documentation provided. GMC provide with the faculties and staff with the credit card for the GMC travel, the review for the travel, the out for the business pocket, expense for the GMC issue for the credit card for the will be you with the reasonable with the necessary business expense. GMC credit cards may not be you with the personal expense for the may not be you with the purchase general supplies, equipment and service not required for official with GMC travel and entertainment. Misuse of the credit cards over the process violation of their draft is separate with the child credit card policy memorandum and alcohol is strictly prohibited addition when the credit card GMC operates with the small fleet vehicles available for the traveler convenience with the wing shirt business trip of the traveler must coordinate with the engineering department to schedule the automobile for the official travel available. The vehicle will be provided. GMC will not reimburse the staff of the faculty with a full government rate for the use of the private owned with the GMC vehicle with the available to travel the rental vehicle available the most cost effective the supervisor the responsibility to ensure the GMC vehicle is maximized for the private only owned vehicle that isn't used minimized. GMC mileage reimbursement rates for the IRS guidelines for their 2017 IRS rate at 53.5 cents per mile. Employees must get approval from their supervisor if they wish with a private owned vehicle when a GMC or a rental vehicle is approved available. In these cases, reimbursement will be a lower statewide rate at 17 cents per mile. Official travel must be approved by a prior travel the vice president campus director with authority approval of the domestic travel request cost travel including a registration $2,500 less domestic travel request at $2,500 or more approved of the president. The international travel request must be approved of the president during the course of the fiscal year with the individual staff. Faculty travel is limited to the ceiling with $5,000 of the per staff with that member faculty. Any employment projected the travel development cost exceed $5,000 given the fiscal year with the first approval from the president. May 17, 2022. Chip Kirby, Chief Financial Officer. Cash management. We'll cut the tape there.